I want to revisit something I said about Andrew Yang, and I want to discuss something he tweeted yesterday. I believe it was yesterday. He tweeted, Andrew Yang, spent the last few years making universal basic income a mainstream political issue, and I want to do the same for ranked choice voting and open primaries. I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what he said. Andrew Yang gets credit for making UBI a mainstream political issue. I support universal basic income. I have some questions about how it would be implemented. I'm sure Andrew Yang and I might disagree on some, but not most. So I give him credit for that. I also support ranked choice voting. Of course, we use it now in several major cities, including New York and San Francisco. I understand the idea of open primaries, but I would say if we're going to do that, why not have nonpartisan elections? That gets rid of the major quibble with open primaries, which is why should people who aren't Democrats help choose a Democratic nominee, or who aren't Republicans help choose the Republican nominee, while also actually pushing candidates more towards the center and more away from just appealing to their partisan base than even open primaries do. So I would urge Yang and his supporters to look into nonpartisan elections rather than open primaries. And that is done in several states and cities, and it has been reasonably successful in achieving the goals that Yang talks about. Whether it's good in general is, of course, a subjective question. But the major issue I'd raise with Andrew Yang is if you really believe in these things, and I believe he does, why form a political party? That becomes a distraction. The story about the Forward Party, the next time they run in a campaign, is did they cost one side or the other the victory? And of course, we won't really know the answer to that, but they will come in a pretty distant third, and that will be the story. Instead of the good work they could potentially be doing, or Yang and his supporters and his movement could potentially be doing on electoral reform. So I am certainly open to his political reform ideas. I just think having a political party is really not a wise way to go about trying to achieve those goals.